Good morning everyone. Basta tayo na ating KGP Bible Daily Reading Plan. Today is 23-2022 ng June. Day 234 na natin. Jeremiah chapter 46 up to chapter 48. Basa. Jeremiah chapter 46, the word of the Lord which came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Gentiles, against Egypt, against the army of Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, which was by the river of Euphrates, in Carchemish, which Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, smote in the 4th year of Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah. Verse 3, Order ye the buckler and shield, and draw near to battle. Harness the horses, and get up, ye horsemen, and stand forth with your helmets. Furbish the spurs, and put on the brigandines. Wherefore have I seen them dismayed and turned away back? And their mighty ones are beaten down and are fled apace, and look not back, for fear was round about sight the Lord. Verse 6. Let not the swift flee away, nor the mighty man escape. They shall stumble and fall toward the north by the river Euphrates. Who is this that cometh up as a flood, whose waters are moved as the rivers? Egypt riseth up like a flood, and his waters are moved like the rivers. And he said, I will go up, and I will cover the earth, I will destroy the city, and the inhabitants thereof. Come up, ye horses and rods, ye chariots, and let the mighty men. Pasensya na po sa bark ng aso. May tao siguro. Ulit-ulit tayo. Verse 9, Come up, ye horses and rods, ye chariots, and let the mighty men come forth, the Ethiopians and the Libyans, that handle the shield, and the Lydians, that handle and bend the bow. Verse 10, For this is the day of the Lord God of hosts, a day of vengeance, and he may avenge him of his adversaries, and the sword shall devour, and it shall be satiate, and made drunk with their blood, for the Lord. Ang daming langaw. For the Lord God of hosts hath a sacrifice in the north country by the river Euphrates. Go up into Gilead, and take Bam, a virgin, the daughter of Egypt. In vain shalt thou use many medicines, for thou shalt not be cured. The nations have heard of thy shame, and thy cry hath filled the land of the mighty. Man hath stumbled against the mighty, and there are fallen both together. Verse 13, the word that the Lord spake to Jeremiah the prophet, how Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, should come and smite the land of Egypt. Declare ye it in Egypt, and publish in Migdol, and publish in Nob, and in Tahpanhes. Say ye, stand fast and prepare thee, for the sword shall devour round about thee. Verse 15, Why are thy valiant men swept away? They stood not, because the Lord did drive them. Verse 16, He made many to fall, yea, one fell upon another, and they said, Arise, and let us go again to our own people, and to the land of our nativity, from the oppressing sword. Verse 17, They did cry, their Pharaoh, king of Egypt, is but a noise. He hath passed the time appointed. As I live, saith the king, whose name is the Lord of hosts, surely as Tabor is among the mountains, and as Carmel by the sea, so shall he come. O the daughter dwelling in Egypt, furnish thyself to go into captivity, for Nob shall be waste and desolate without an inhabitant. Egypt is like a very fair heifer, but destruction cometh out of the north. Also her hired men are in the midst of her like fatted bullocks, for they also are turned back, and are fled away together. They did not stand, because the day of their calamity was come upon them, and the time of their visitation. The voice thereof shall go like a serpent, for they shall march with an army, and come against her with axes as hewers of wood. They shall cut down her forests, saith the Lord, though it cannot be searched, because they are more than the grasshopper, and are innumerable. The daughter of Egypt shall be confounded, she shall be delivered into the hand of the people of the north. Verse 25, The Lord of hosts the God of Israel, saw it, behold, I will punish the multitude of No, and Pharaoh, and Egypt, with their gods, and their kings, even Pharaoh, and all them that trust in him. Verse 26. And I will deliver them into the hand of those that seek their lives, and into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of his servants, and afterward it shall be inhabited as in the days of old, saith the Lord. But fear not, thou, O my servant Jacob, and be not dismayed, O Israel, for behold, I will save thee from afar off, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return and be in rest and at ease, and none shall make him afraid. Verse 28. Fear thou not, O Jacob, my servant, saith the Lord, for I am with thee, for I will make a full end of all nations. Whither I have driven thee, but I will not make a full end of thee, but correct thee in measure. Yet will I not leave thee wholly unpunished. Verse 47 hanggang 48 tayo, diba? Yes, hanggang 48. So, verse 40. Jeremiah chapter 47. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against the Philistines before the Pharaoh smote Gaza. Thus saith the Lord, behold, waters rise up out of the north, and shall be an overflowing flood, and shall overflow the land and all that is therein, the city, and them that dwell therein. Then the men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall howl. At the noise of the stamping of the hoofs of his strong horses, at the rushing on his chariot and his chariots, and at the guys, pakisabayan niyo rin ako guys, para pare-pareho tayo matuto dito sa Bible. Jeremiah chapter 47 verse 3, ulit tayo. At the noise of the stamping of the hoofs of his strong horses, at the rushing of his chariots, and at the rumbling of his walls, the father shall not look back to their children for feebleness of hands. Verse 4. Because of the day that commenced to spoil all the Philistines, and to cut off from Tyrus and Sidon every helper that remaineth, for the Lord will spoil the Philistines, the remnant of the country of Captor. Baldness is come upon Gaza, as Calon is cut off with the remnant of their valley. How long wilt thou cut thyself, O thou sword of the Lord? How long will it be, ere thou be quiet? Put up thyself into thy scabbard, rest and be still. Verse 7. How can it be quiet, seeing the Lord hath given it a charge against Ashkelon, and against the seashore? There hath he appointed it. Jeremiah chapter 48, last chapter na to guys. Against Moab, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, woe unto Nebo, for it is spoiled. Kiriathaim is confounded and taken, Misgab is confounded and dismayed. There shall be no more praise of Moab in Heshbon. They have devised evil against it. Come, and it has cut it off from being a nation. All that also thou shalt be cut down. O madmen, the sword shall pursue thee. Verse 3. A voice of crying shall be from Horonaim, spoiling and great destruction. Moab is destroyed. Her little ones have caused a cry to be heard. For in the going up of Lohit, continual weeping shall go up. For in the going down of Horonaim, the enemies have heard a cry of destruction. Verse 6. Please save your lives, and be like the heath in the wilderness. For because thou hast trusted in thy works, and in thy treasures thou shalt also be taken. And Chemosh shall go forth into captivity with his priests and his prince together, and the spoiler shall come upon every city, and no city shall escape. The valley also shall perish, and the plain shall be destroyed, as the Lord hath spoken. Give wings unto Moab, that it may flee and get away, for the cities thereof shall be desolate, without any to dwell therein. Verse 10. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. Moab hath been at ease from his youth, And he had settled on his list, and had not been emptied from vessel to vessel, neither had he gone into captivity. Therefore his taste remained in him, and his scent is not changed. Verse 12. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will send unto him wanderers that shall cause him to wander, and shall empty his vessels, and break their bottles. And Moab shall be ashamed of Chemosh, as the house of Israel was ashamed of Bethel, their confidence. How say ye, we are mighty and strong men for the war? Moab is spoiled and gone up out of her cities, and his chosen young men are gone down to the slaughter, saith the king, whose name is the Lord of hosts. The calamity of Moab is near to come, and his affliction has stood fast. All ye that are about him bemoan him, and all ye that know his name say, how is the strong staff broken, and the beautiful rod? Thou daughter that dost inhabit thy bone, come down from thy glory, and sit in thirst, for the spoiler of Moab shall come upon thee, and he shall destroy the strongholds. O inhabitants of Aroer, stand by the way, and spy. Asked him that playeth, and her that scoffeth, and say, what is done? O Moab is confounded, for it is broken down. Howl and cry until ye it in Arnon, that Moab is spoiled. And judgment is come upon the plain country, upon Holon, and upon Jaza, and upon Mipat, and upon Dibon, and upon Nebo, and upon Beth-Diblatim, and upon Kiriatim, and upon Beth-Gamol, and upon Beth-Meon, and upon Karios, and upon Bozrah, and upon all the cities of the land of Moab, far or near. The horn of Moab is cut off, and his arm is broken, saith the Lord. Make ye him drunken, for he magnified himself against the Lord. Moab also shall wallow in his vomit, and he also shall be in derision. Verse 27. For was not Israel adoration unto thee? Was he found among thieves? For since thou speakest of him, thou skippest for joy. O ye that dwell in Moab, leave the cities, and dwell in the rock, and be like the dove that maketh her nest in the sides of the hall's mouth. Guys, pakipasa nyo rin yung inyong King James Bible. Na kasi, sobrang liit ba? Nagdodoble basa ko. Verse 29. We have heard the pride of Moab, his exceeding proud, his loftiness, and his arrogancy, and his pride, and the haughtiness of his heart. I know his wrath, saith the Lord, but it shall not be so. His lies shall not so affect it. Therefore will I howl for Moab, and I will cry out for all Moab. Mine heart shall mourn for the men of Kirheres. O vine of Sibmah, I will weep for thee with the weeping of Jezer. Thy plants are gone over the sea, they reach even to the sea of Jezer. The spoiler is fallen upon thy summer fruits, and upon thy vintage. And joy and gladness is taken from the plentiful field, and from the land of Moab I have caused wine to fail from the wine presses. None shall tread with shouting, their shouting shall be no shouting. From the cry of Heshbon even unto Elele, and even unto Jehaz have they uttered their voice from Zoar. Ang daming langaw. Wala ba tayong mamaypay dito? Daming langaw. Hindi kaya ng aircon. Saan na tayo di?
Ano? 34.
34? Daming langaw, grabe. Daming langaw eh. Hindi kaya ng... 34. Okay guys, 34 daw tayo, sabi ni Daddy. From the tanghali na kasi, kaya naririnig mo sa background. Okay lang yan. Dito talaga sa province guys. From the cry of Heshbon, even unto Elali, and even unto Jehaz have they uttered their voice from Zoar, even unto Horonaim as an heifer of 3 years old. For the waters also in Nimrim shall be desolate. Verse 35, Moreover I will cause to cease in Moab, saith the Lord, him that offereth in the high places, and him that burneth incense to his gods. Therefore mine heart shall sound for Moab like pipes, and mine heart shall sound like pipes for the men of Heres, because the riches that he had gotten are perished. Verse 37, hanggang saan ba to? Okay. Verse 37, For every head shall be bald, and every bird clipped, upon all the hands shall be cuttings, and upon the loins sackcloth. Verse 38, There shall be lamentation generally upon all the housetops of Moab, and in the streets thereof, for I have broken Moab like a vessel wherein is no pleasure, saith the Lord. They shall howl, saying, How is it broken down? How hath Moab turned the back with shame? So shall Moab be adoration and dismaying to all them about him. For thus saith the Lord, Behold, he shall fly as an eagle, and shall spread his wings over Moab. Keriath is taken, and the strongholds are surprised, and the mighty men's herds in Moab at that day shall be as the heart of a woman in her pangs. And Moab shall be destroyed from being a people, because he hath magnified himself against the Lord. For and the pit and the snare shall be upon thee, O inhabitant of Moab, saith the Lord. He that fleeth from the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that getteth up out of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For I will bring upon it, even upon Moab, the year of their visitation, saith the Lord. Guys, nangyari na to sa kanila nung araw pa, ha? They that fled stood under the shadow of Heshbon because of the force, but a fire shall come forth out of Heshbon, and a flame from the midst of Sihon, and shall devour the corner of Moab, and the crown of the head of the tumultuous ones. At least hindi tayo kasali. Sila lang. Woe be unto thee, O Moab, the people of Chemosh perished, for thy sons are taken captives, and thy daughters captives. Yet will I bring again the captivity of Moab in the latter days, saith the Lord. Thus far is the judgment of Moab. So, judgment of Moab na ito. So, bye everyone. God bless.